Hi guys, welcome. I'm glad you've come back to my channel. It's Megan here, the faithful fibromyalgia warrior. And what is today? Today is June the 2nd. It's Friday. And I am so amazed and so inspired and so encouraged at how much my healing has just ramped up over the last few days that I had to share. So what I have here is a bottle of StemEnhance Ultra, which is the stem cell product that Bart Kay talks about through Cerule. And I got some. I finally gave in. I decided to order some. And it arrived on Wednesday, just before 4 o'clock. And I took the first dose of two of these little pills on Wednesday. And by 4:30, I suddenly had energy to burn. I did not feel exhausted or tired. I had no need for any caffeine, nothing. And for the rest of the day, I had zero pain whatsoever. Now, let me just back up a little bit. If you saw my last video, you know that I've talked about how much the carnivore diet has been healing me, and it truly has. I have lost almost close to 100 pounds of fat and water weight and inflammation, okay, since I started carnivore back in July of 2020. And there are some videos out there and some posts where you can see what I used to look like, and you can see a absolute difference. And once I cut out all the seed oils and the processed garbage and the carbs and the sugar and all of it, everything other than the skeletal muscle meat of animals with the associated fats, some eggs with the yolks, and butter on occasion, cooking with it, or occasionally having a little bit in my coffee. So meat, butter, eggs, not just beef, mainly beef, but also bacon and sometimes pork and lamb and other yummy food like that. Everything, in my case, everything other than fish, because I hate seafood and I hate fish. Blech. Anyways, I digress. So, by going strict carnivore, when I first started, I managed to get rid of all of my fibromyalgia brain fog. My skin started to heal. It's not completely, fully recovered just yet. Mind you, I've just recently showered, so it's a little bit pink from the hot water. But overall, my eyebrows grew back. My eyelashes stopped falling out. My skin stopped being dry and flaky. The enamel on my teeth has started to heal. I did have some hair loss, which is normal, but then it started to grow back. And even though it does get a little bit on the frizzy side, all the gray that used to be in my hair has completely gone away. And I've gone back to my natural blondish, dark blonde, whatever you want to call it, hair color. This is not dye. This is all me since being carnivore. And that started to go. I found that I had less inflammation in my joints. I was still needing to get around in a wheelchair for any sort of distance because of the continuing pain in my lower back. But for the first couple of years of being carnivore, what I did find was that even though there was still chronic pain, it was less than what it used to be. And I found that my medications were actually helping me to manage the pain a bit better. Now, I'm not sure why over these last 3 months or so that suddenly just ramped up and healed even more. I don't know if it was because I started to truly dig deep and grow deeper in my faith in God and that He was looking out for me. But one of the things I did finally start to do, and this was as of, especially back even at the beginning of March, was realizing that I was much more than simply my diagnosis. I wasn't simply just somebody with fibromyalgia and chronic pain and inflammation. I didn't want to just be somebody who was potentially the victim. I wanted to get beyond that. And I was really, really, really watching and taking notes and taking in all the things that Rebecca Heichman was sharing, who's also a Christian. Her YouTube channel is Tailored Keto Health, and she is also a carnivore. However, what grabbed my attention about her was not only has she fully reversed more than 10 autoimmune conditions, the greatest one of which she did to me was the fact that she was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and she not only reversed most of the symptoms, she completely reversed it. She, does CrossFit now. She's able to exercise and work out and go running and play with her dogs and, do all those things that she does in her life and with her husband without pain. I mean, unless you overexert yourself, in which case, of course, that's the body's response to having done too much, is a feeling of pain. But she was able to do all those things. She did not need her pain medication any longer. She reversed all of that. And one of the things she talks about and did talk about and still does is in order to get beyond the basic physical healing, you have to have a why. There needs to be a faith in something greater. Now, it helps because, as I say, she's also a Christian, as am I. And so a shared faith in God that she didn't need to stay in that victim mentality, in that patient mentality for her whole life. And because she surrendered that to God, she was able to see past it and say, wait a minute, God can heal me if I'm willing, if I have faith, if I see what things can I do to heal, he can heal me. I'm paraphrasing. She didn't say that specifically, but I'm paraphrasing. And that's what I took on board. And I realized I want to be able to travel and go on holiday, not need to take a manual wheelchair with me, so that we can go hiking, maybe get back on a bike someday, enjoy nature and outdoors and trails, maybe learn to cross-country ski. I used to downhill ski regularly when I was in my teens with my family. All of these things that I used to love and enjoy that I couldn't do any longer because of the chronic pain and inflammation. First, because I had a slipped disc or a prolapsed disc in my lower back. And then on top of that, because my sacrum and my sacroiliac joint and that whole area was constantly irritated and inflamed. I wanted to build a strong core. I wanted to strengthen my soft tissues and my muscles and develop the kind of strength in my muscles and body that God plans for our bodies to have. I mean, we were made in such a way that we can have strength, that we can recover, that we can continue on. But that's how we survived as a human species, which is why God designed for us to consume animal products first for our nourishment and to develop a way, yes, to eat plants simply as a method of avoiding full starvation after we so selfishly and greedily, I would point out, overconsumed the animals that we were provided with. As humans, we're selfish creatures. We never really quite learned how to share. And so we would waste a lot of food way back when, thousands of years ago, which is how we overhunted the larger animals. And then we had to learn how to develop better tools, better methods of hunting the animals that were left. And then we discovered how God showed us how to domesticate them and raise them so that we didn't have to hunt them. Things like lamb and cows and, other types of ruminant animals, as well as pigs and chickens and turkeys and that type of idea, right? So there's always a way that it was always in the plan of God to continuously help us find ways to nourish ourselves. It's just Sometimes we got lazy, sometimes we couldn't be bothered, and we found the quickest way out. Hence, agriculture and eating cereals that were, in essence, grown to feed the animals, not the humans. Anyways, a side point. So, as I've shared before in other videos, my overall sense of healing just by being carnivore, never mind trying this StemEnhance product, just by being carnivore, I would say that my pain levels were probably 95 to 97% improved because I was able to come completely off all my painkillers. Completely. And that was over a week, close to 2 weeks now. But I was still constantly exhausted. My energy levels were at about 80%. And just feeling tired all the time, drinking far too much coffee, which is never good anyways. Not always having the best sleep, often feeling not fully rested. It was much better than at the worst times of my fibromyalgia, where my energy levels were maybe 50 to 60%. So going strictly carnivore did improve that, but there was, again, it was only about 80% improvement. So I got the StemEnhance Ultra pills, as I say, from watching Bart Kay's videos and channels and sharing the things that helped him to heal. And I just kept feeling like if I could just get over this constant sense of exhaustion. There's so many things I want to do. So many ways I want to help other people. So many ways I want to share all about the carnivore diet and all the great health benefits it provides, all the improvements it can offer. But I just couldn't get past that horrible exhaustion. Even, like I said, even though my improvements were, I was 80% improved, but I was still exhausted. Now, I got rid of my pain medications. I was completely off statins over a month ago, almost 2 months ago, to be honest. The last 2 medications that I was taking still were my thyroid medication, which I'm on the lowest microdose of, and my antidepressants, which I had been on 200 milligrams a day of sertraline. But my mood had improved greatly with carnivore. And so I had just brought it down to 150 milligrams. And I was going to gradually come off that as well. Okay, because although these can be great tools, and I did need them at one point, once the inflammation in my brain was down enough, my mood stabilized. And although there's benefits to taking antidepressants, there are also side effects long term. And I wanted to be able to function without anything in my body, if at all possible. Okay, so watching Bart's videos, knowing that he's been using this product for years, that it even helped heal and reverse his macular degeneration, I was willing to give it a try. I thought maybe in my case, what this product will do is help me with my energy levels. That's all I was hoping for, because I knew everything else would take care of itself. Okay, so the product arrived on Wednesday, just before 4. I took my first dose of 2 pills, 1 dose, 4 o'clock, and by 4:30, I had 100% energy levels. 0 pain of any kind. Now, I didn't know if that was going to last for very long, if that was just a one-off. So I wanted to wait and see how I felt yesterday. I took a dose yesterday around, 11, somewhere between 11 and 1, right? See if it would last throughout the day. And I am not kidding when I say that I had maybe 1 large cup of coffee yesterday and 1 small one. So 1.5 cups of coffee, switched to decaf, and I was energized throughout the entire day. Okay. Now, let me just say, and I know it's the StemEnhance because I've been using blue light blockers at night for over a year. I've been grounding and, greeting the morning every morning for over a year. And it was only now that I suddenly had energy to burn. When I get up in the morning, I'm always the first one up typically, other than our dogs. And I like to spend that time listening to worship music. I love to look up different scriptures for the day. And then I write about it, my thoughts, whatever insights I think I might have in my journal. And I can usually go a good half hour or so before I feel a bit of twinging in my wrist, because that's where I used to get arthritis the worst. I had to switch to a Kindle 9 years ago because it was causing me too much pain to hold a regular book and flip pages. Okay. Yesterday, I spent almost an hour writing in my journal, no pain. This morning, 2.5 hours had passed without any pain whatsoever. And I've actually had, other than very minor twinges in my lower back, simply because I think that's going to be the last bit of me that fully heals. But I sat and I've had zero pain. I was awake this morning at 6 to let the dogs out, wide awake, 100% energy levels. My pain levels after just 2 doses, so 2 days of a single dose of this product, and my pain levels are almost non-existent. So I've gone from 95 to 97% pain-free to between 96 and 98% pain-free. Because again, I know that if I push myself too much, if I lift anything that's a bit too heavy, I will feel it. As we would normally. That's the body's way of saying, hang on, that's a bit much right now. But sitting and enjoying my day, zero pain. The constant the constant whiplash pain that has been residing in the side of my neck and through my shoulders for the past 5 years, following a car accident we were in, is not there at all. It's miraculous. Now, I can't make any claim as to what this product will do for you because it works differently in everybody. But it does work. And so maybe it will help you with energy levels. Maybe it will help you with getting that last bit of inflammation and pain out of your joints. Maybe it will help improve your digestion. Oh, that reminds me, by the way, I am completely off all medication. Completely. Now, with regards to my thyroid medication, that ended up happening because I did not reorder it before the long holiday weekend we just had here in the UK, and I ran out. So I haven't been taking it now for about a week, and no issues. None. So what that tells me is carnivore diet was working already to help regulate my metabolism and my thyroid. This StemEnhance product, I think, will probably just take it that extra step further. Also, I have not been taking my antidepressants. Now, the way it started, I was going to gradually work my way down, and then I forgot to take it for a few days in a row. But my mood did not change. It's been stable. It's been exactly where it needs to be. And so I've had no desire to take it again. That's amazing. I say this because, yes, we should definitely, especially antidepressants, especially in SSRI, should never, ever, 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 ever quit cold turkey. Ever. I had gradually brought it down, but I'd forgotten it a few times. So I'd gone like every other day without it because I forgot to take it because I just felt so great. I didn't even think of it. And then it became 2 days in a row. And then it was 3 days in a row. And by that point, I was like, actually, I feel amazing. So I don't need it any longer, which is fantastic. I would also add in, there's nothing wrong if you do need to take it. There's nothing wrong if you need to take it, okay? Don't feel stigmatized because it is not a bad thing. If you need it, take it. If you're taking it, but maybe you get to a point where you've done other healing in the meanwhile, and again, if you eat the carnivore diet, I would imagine that you will see massive healing with inflammation, with chronic pain, with thyroid issues, with gut issues. And once you start on that path and your brain is not inflamed and you're not dealing with brain fog or mental health issues, you may not need to take your medication. You may actually, as I have found, have healed so much that you can wean yourself off. And that's cool. But for people who truly feel that they absolutely must stay on their medication for whatever reason, that's okay. There is no judgment. I just know that it feels incredible to be off all medications right now. All of it. Because 9 years ago, that would never have been the case. I needed those medications because I was so inflamed. I was so bloated. I was so overweight even 9 years ago, carrying weight that was there as a result of horrible diet choices. I needed the medications because my body couldn't heal itself. It was too busy trying to deal with all the excessive amounts of glucose and carbohydrates that were being poured down my neck and into my body. So it also helped me to remember that one of the key things that Bart has talked about is, because he also had fibromyalgia and he completely reversed it. He was bedridden. The pain was so significant. And I've been there as well. And yes, the Cerule products made a huge difference. But if he was not already trying to be ketogenic and low carb, and then eventually carnivore, if he wasn't doing that, these products would probably have made minimal impact. Because they would just be fighting against all the carbs going into his body. But the one thing he reminded me of was, with fibromyalgia, when we feel pain, the pain is actually real. We are feeling real pain. We're not making up the fact that things hurt. However, it's our inflamed brains that are sending us incorrect signals. So the pain we feel is real, but the cause of pain is not. And when I'm reminded of that, when I remind myself, no, fibromyalgia is the brain getting the wrong signals of pain. So, for example, if I bumped my toe ever so slightly on a piece of furniture, it might hurt to me the same amount as somebody who broke their knee. It could hurt that badly. However, that type of injury isn't even what occurred. So when I remembered that, it makes it a lot easier to go, wait a minute, I am healing. And my brain might still be getting false signals, such as, am I really exhausted? Or is it something more? Is it because of inflammation? Is it because of incorrect signaling going up to my brain? Or is it because my brain has inflammation that this is happening? Probably both. But that's what helped me to realize, wait a minute, there is a possibility and a hope for full healing. And so I wanted to share all of that with you to say that carnivore can do massive amounts of healing. And it has. It has transformed my life. And if I was not carnivore, and if I was not already seeing the changes from diet alone, I don't believe that StemEnhance would have even remotely the same effect. If I was still eating inflammatory foods, then I would just be counteracting any positive effect that this product might have. I don't sell this stuff at this point. So I'm not saying this to say you have to buy it. You might not, but I'm glad I did. I'm grateful I did because this stuff does work. If you want to know the science behind it or more about it, definitely check out Bart Kay's channel because he talks far more about it. And I'm absolutely convinced, just as I'm grateful that God created the scientists who invented, antibiotics and, um, you know, insulin, and who created medications that help with severe mental disorders, for people who take medication for being bipolar, people who, created antidepressants and medications to help with anxiety. I'm grateful. Those are all people that God gave them that intelligence. So I know that those medications, it directly come from God. But this product, the scientists who did all the research and all the work in it, wow, a blessing from God. And you know what? I suspect I will just continue to get better and better as time goes by. I'll keep you guys posted. When I am wheelchair free, I can't wait to share with you guys. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that time's coming next. And I know that because God is in control. Absolutely. I've received incredible amounts of healing just through diet alone. This final step, though, is the ultimate game changer. And that, I think, is what's going to help continue to heal me as it, for whatever it's doing. My pain is, at this moment, there isn't any. There's none. Other than what we would normally get as humans if we sit in a weird position, or, we spend too much time with our shoulder up like this against our phone. We will get aches and pains. That's how we're made. That's how we realize that, oh, we've done too much, or it's more than we should handle. It's not like there'll never be ever any sort of aches and pains or stiffness or soreness. That happens when we work the muscles, when we work our bodies as God intended. However, the chronic pain has been essentially non-existent for 3 days now. That is miraculous. That is God using people to create these Cerule products. Absolutely. But that's following a way of eating that He intended for us from the very beginning. Absolutely. Without any doubt. I know this to be true. Anyways, sorry guys. I had to share. I am super excited by how amazing God is and all He's done in my life. I may end up even having to change my tag because maybe technically, I have fibromyalgia still, but I have 0 symptoms right now. At this moment in time, I have 0 symptoms. Clear, sharp focus. Like I haven't had since before I had kids. Because you get mom fog when you're pregnant and when you become a new mom. I have 0 brain fog, 0 pain. I have only incredible energy and thankfulness and gratitude. Let me just say this. Start, as Bart would tell you, 1, start with the right way of eating. If you're not meat-based or carnivore even, or potentially even meat-heavy keto, start there. Start there. Even if you look great on the outside, physically wise, your health may not be optimal. Start there. I mean, that's how humans have eaten for millennia. So start there. And start taking this Cerule product. Now, I'm only taking the StemEnhance, and right now, that's all I need. Try them. It will help. However, it basically releases adult stem cells in the body, which clean up all the cells that have died. It helps, repair and renew parts of you that maybe wouldn't repair properly otherwise. Damage caused over time, over life. there's no harm in it. I wouldn't think. There's no harm in it. And lots of benefits. Again, you might look healthy even on the outside. This alone could help you, perhaps, I don't know, maybe it'll even help you if you do CrossFit or you work out intensively, or you're training for a marathon or whatever it is, or you're a cyclist. Maybe this will help you recover quickly. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying it helps repair damaged cells. And in my case, brilliant stuff. You cannot go wrong. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This has been a game changer, totally. And I will keep making content because I look forward to the day where I can tell you guys, guess what? I've 100% absolutely reversed all of my fibromyalgia symptoms, all my chronic pain, all my inflammation. I don't need a chair. I walk everywhere I go. I'm taking, who knows, maybe I'll take salsa lessons or something. I don't know. But I look forward to sharing all that there is to come, not just sharing God's message, because honestly, at the end of the day, without God, I never would have found any of this. God has led me to all of this. So I will put my first level of gratitude in God and how he has been faithful to me as I'm learning to be faithful to him, and then everything that's come afterwards. Blessings upon blessings. I hope this encourages you. I hope this maybe even inspires you, and I hope this helps you. It is so fantastic, as always, to have you guys just there and supporting me and everything I do throughout my whole journey. I love you guys and pray for everything, to always be positive and helping you out however it works. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Share this with whoever you feel like. I will be back regularly, I think, with much more content. Thank you so much for everything that you do, every kind comment, all the support you provide. Thank you, guys. All the best. See you soon in the next video. Bye.